it's Tommy, and I'm at another project, and probably one of the biggest projects in the Cardano world, and it's something about apes. And I'm not going to explain that, but I will preface this, but it's a somewhat complicated project that has lots of ins and outs, but it's got benefits and rewards to it. So I'm here with a gentleman who is the expert, one of the experts on this, and he's going to explain First everything. Off, your name again?
Live Without Chains.
Live Without Chains.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is truly a guy that wants to be decentralized.
That's right.
I love it. That is beautiful. So,
so I'm not necessarily an expert, but I am an ape lover and I'm an ape holder, and I love being part of this community. So high level, we have three components of the Ape Society. We have the actual apes themselves, we have cabins, and then we have a token called Society. And they all work together. This ape is actually mine. His name is Whitmatic. But we have some incredible art. Yeah, so we're building a whole economy around cabins and the Society token. So you see the apes and you see the frames that they're in. It's a little bit complicated, but we'll walk you through it. Okay. So over here we have our cabin map. And we have three styles of cabin. We have the little cottage, we have the estate, and then we have the big chateau. And all of these squares are cabins, and these question marks are all going to be landmarks. We don't know what all of them are yet. We know two of them so far. But the idea is that each one of them is going to be able to stand on its own as its own decentralized finance application. Or maybe it'll be a game, or it'll be something that will be good enough to be its own project, but it's going to be centralized inside of our map.
If we look at the cabin types, why do I want to invest in a cabin, and what do they cost?
I want to say the floor cabin is around 320 ADA, all the way up to over 1,000, I think, for the chateau. But it's going to also vary depending on where you're located on the map. So the red squares are going to be a little bit higher value. And then also the proximity to these landmark areas. And the landmarks will all be some type of game, or it'll be some kind of crypto application where maybe you can make money off of it. We have different partnerships that are going to fill up the spaces.
Okay. So the price, we have an entry price for a cottage is at about
300 ADA.
About 300 ADA, currently $150 US, roughly. Up to a chateau.
Yeah. And
which is how much, roughly?
I couldn't tell you. I want to say it's over 1,000.
Over 1,000 ADA.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the heat map, and this is, in my experience, this is like a real neighborhood where you have certain properties that are more valuable, and towards the center, the center of the city, the shopping, whatever's there, but there's a question mark. And why is there a triple question mark and a double question mark there? So you have a heat map here, folks.
Now the heat map, you can't tell everything from the heat map because we're a big community project. So we're not just sitting back and waiting for the team to build out everything for us. A lot of individual apes are getting involved, and some of us are musicians, some of us are game developers. We have all these different skills. And so, for instance, District 11 is called Doork East. So all of these boxes have a district name. And this one is called Doork East, D-O-O-R-K East. And we just thought it was a funny name. The team didn't plan this or anything, but we all just, as a community, thought it was a great name. And a lot of the more prominent members of the community started buying land and cabins in this district. And we actually now just released our second magazine. We had a 100-page magazine that we just put out where people are putting recipes and various columns and just fun art and stuff like that. So this district, even though it's green and you would think that it would be lower price, is actually the highest priced district in the entire map.
Okay. That might be some alpha. It's probably not alpha because it's existing, but I don't think if I was here I would know that, and now you know that. So these are the district names.
Yep.
Okay, if we can read off of that.
Yeah, so here's Doork East.
And there's Doork East, which is number 11, which is green, double question mark. But it seems like the inner community might be settling there. Something to keep in mind.
So all of these question marks are going to be something. One of them that we know about so far was actually a community proposal. So what we're building, and it's not the dev team that's making it, it's all of us. We're going to make a video game. It's going to have, so we've got 3D, I'm building some of the 3D assets myself. We have people who are doing the computer coding. We have people who are doing the rules for the game, but essentially it's going to be a game where you can battle each other. And we're building it all from scratch. It's all just us. And that's going to go in one of these question marks. We don't know which one yet. But all of these question marks will be some kind of application, something fun that you'll be able to do with the Society coin. Which I don't think, in addition to the cabins, we have two other pieces. We have the Apes and we have the Society coin. So Society is kind of the currency that runs the whole ecosystem. And Apes are getting pretty expensive. I think right now Apes are about 4,000 ADA. Cabins, like I said, at the bottom are 300 ADA. So even if you can't afford one of those, you can still get involved with the Society coin. And all of these landmarks are going to use the Society coin in some way. That's the part that we do know.
So how do you obtain Society coin?
You can get it on MinSwap, which is probably the best decentralized DEX or decentralized exchange on Cardano.
I would agree with you there,
yeah, we have a liquidity pool there, and basically you can just decide how much ADA, you can put in 10 ADA if you want and just get a little bit of Society coin. Or you can earn Society coin through our staking program. And you can stake Apes if you have them, if you can afford an Ape. They're pretty scarce and hard to get now. But we also have staking for non-Apes. So if you have other NFTs, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be on Cardano. If you have other NFTs and that project applies to be in our staking program, you'll be able to, and if you have a cabin, you'll be able to buy a frame to frame, it's almost like these cabins are kind of like galleries. So you'll be able to put your NFT into a frame, and just every day you'll earn Society coin, which you can then cash out for ADA if you want to, or you can use it in the landmarks, or you can just hodl it, or whatever you want to do. So we haven't really talked about the Apes themselves too much, but so here is our kind of our class pyramid. So every ape has its own unique name. For example, this one, his name is Wit. His first name is Wit, and his last name is Matic. So he's up here in the Matic family. And so the way that the pyramid is structured is down on the bottom you have craftsmen, and all of these families are craftsman families. And then above them you have the artists. So the Hill family, the King family, those are all artists. And then you have the explorers, and then you have the merchants, the military officers, the royal advisors, and then at the very top of the pyramid is the nobles. And there's only one family, so there's only 70 of these guys in existence.
Okay, and I don't think they're up for sale too often.
Not too often. The last one that sold was for 65,000 ADA.
Okay.
And they're going up.
Okay. So now I heard in the spaces someone said you should buy an artisan family. Is that the lowest priced, and is there some type of utility to them?
It depends on what your strategy is. So there's a lot of room for strategy here. So we'll start with the craftsman. So we did talk about staking, and maybe we should go into staking a little bit. So you have your cabin. Basic level, a cabin is almost like a gallery for NFTs. So what you'll do is you'll buy a frame with the Society coin, and the cheapest frame is a level 0. And all that does is it allows you to stake your NFTs, whether it's an ape or it's something else. So 750 Society is the base level frame. Okay, so 750 Society gets you your base level wooden frame, and that just allows you to stake and earn that passive Society every day. But then if you spend another 1,500 Society, you can get like the nicer frame, and then that has a boost to it. So you get, on top of whatever you're staking, you get a 0.1 rewards. And they go up in price. By the time you get to level 4, you're earning as much off just the frame as staking a craftsman ape. So this may be where I stop at. I might just get to all my apes to level 4 and stop. I'll have to see. I'm gonna have to do some calculations.
Okay.
But this is how you display your NFT, and this is how you stake your NFT. So you have the cabin, you put your NFT inside the frame goes on the wall inside your cabin, okay? And then you start earning those rewards. Okay, so then we can talk about the apes at the bottom are the most common.
Okay, start again, please.
So starting from the bottom, the craftsmen are the most common. And as you go up the pyramid, the staking rewards get higher. So there's a 1x multiplier on the craftsmen. By the time you get up to the nobles, that's a 7x multiplier. So you're earning seven times as much as staking one of these guys. However, you also get less utility as you go up the chain. So it's up here, it's more about staking rewards and prestige. Down here, you get more utility. It's kind of interesting how that works. So the craftsmen are going to be able to build 3D items that you will put inside of your cabin just for decorations or to make it look how you want. So they can, depending on how much time they spend, they could build something simple like a chair maybe in like 2 days. Or if you wanted to leave them working for a couple weeks, maybe they could build something really cool like a pool table. But what you can do with those items is you can either keep them for your own use, your own decorations, or you can sell them on our marketplace for society. So that's kind of the big perk of having a craftsman is they can build stuff that you can then sell. As you go up the ranks, having an artist will get you a free frame, free level 0 frame. So if you have an artist and you have a cabin, you don't need to buy a frame to get started earning society. You can just get one for free, put it up, and then you immediately start earning society. Explorers get a discount on all levels of frames. And they also get whitelisted for other NFT mints and things like that, I believe. Or no, the artists get whitelisted for NFT mints. I'm a little fuzzy on the perks.
Okay, that's...
Merchants will get, so I mentioned how you could sell the items that the craftsmen build. Well, the merchants are going to get a 2% cut of every transaction in the Ape marketplace. So they'll get rewards that way.
And that's different than staking rewards?
That's,
or is that in addition to?
In addition to staking rewards,
okay.
Yeah. Military officers, that's what I am. We don't actually build our items, we steal it from craftsmen. So if you have a craftsman and you build something, there's a 1 in 10 chance every time you build it, I think it's 1 in 10, that you'll get it stolen by a military officer. So,
hey, sweet. So it's a class of thieves within the society.
Yeah, we do a little plundering in the Ape Society for sure. And then up top is the Royal Advisors. If you have one of these will do a 1.2 multiplier on top of all of your apes that get staked, and you can stack them up to 3. So if you have 3, it's 1.2 times 1.2, and I think is how the math works. And then at the top, you just get the high staking rewards.
The 7 royalty.
Yeah.
And that's all staking.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you why you should buy an ape. I can tell you why I bought an ape. Of course, there is a lot of flipping that goes on in NFTs. A lot of people are only buying because they want to buy something low and sell it high. And as soon as the price doesn't do what they think it's going to do, they sell it right away and they think the project is dead. Right now, our price is going up, so everyone thinks we're great. The reason that I own an ape is I see NFTs as a really interesting area that we really haven't fully explored yet. As we move into a more gig economy, as we move into doing more tech work, and where we're not going into the office as much, I think our reputation is going to move out of that traditional kind of resume role, and who you are online is going to matter a lot more. And I think that with these big projects, if you have a big established brand and you have an ape that represents you and you can prove ownership of that, then you can prove like who you are based on the ownership of one particular NFT. I love the branding potential. Like if I wanted to start a whiskey business or a cigar business or even a pizza shop, I love that you just get out of the box branding. I mean, these are beautiful pictures. They have a lot of soul when you zoom in on them, high resolution, and you get a incredible community who wants to support any entrepreneurial effort that is done by an ape. So if you have an ape and you put it up as your branding, you are guaranteed customers right away. I love that the community is so diverse and has so many skills that if you want to put yourself out there as a musician or as a writer, or you want to build on Cardano, or you want to make a game, or you want to start a business, whatever you want to do, we want you to be part of our community. We want you to do it with us. And I think that Apes are just a really cool, like out of the box, like branding solution and an out of the box community that you just get just by holding. We have an incredibly active Discord 24/7. If you go on there, there's always really smart people who are chatting and throwing all kinds of ideas around. If you have an idea of something that you want to try as a business or whatever, I mean, we're always like connecting people with each other, and we want to support our community members for anything that you want to build. So I would say, if you want to build, that's why you should buy an ape. And if you just want to hold one and hope the price goes up, honestly, like I prefer you didn't. I prefer that a builder would hold that ape.
Last question: are there any senior apes, and do you have any drops of new apes coming out or planned?
I'll answer the second question first. So, do we have new apes coming out? No. A lot of projects are following the Bored Apes Yacht Club model, where they did mutations or they'll do a second generation. For us, the digital scarcity is like really important. So there's 7,000 apes, and that's it. We don't want to add more, and because we feel like that'll dilute it, and then the price will come down. And I mean, price isn't like the most important, but it is important. And just having that digital scarcity. So we want that 7,000 collection to be it. And do we have senior apes? We have senior ape holders for sure. Lots of us for sure. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but we've got some older ape holders for sure. And then we got the nice this is like the medium like beard. You can get like a nice long grizzled beard too if you want one of those.
Right, and one of my handles online is Greybeard, so you know Matic and the beards kind of resonate with me. So yeah. Well, thank you very much. You're a great spokesperson. And,
I'm just a holder.
Well.